What's up, everyone? It's me, Jason, for this week's VR report. I am all about improvements. I've taken some criticism from my own mother about not looking at the camera during these reports, so I'm going to try my best to really fix that. Another thing I want to fix is the quality of content that I'm bringing out. For these VR reports, I want to try to limit the amount of news pieces that I get and more about the insights on them. I think over time I've been kind of narrowing which news I find relevant, just so I can give more insights on them and have higher quality insights. So let's go ahead and get started. Updates on Rhe60, the Puerto Rico Rhe60 video that I was talking about for the past 3 weeks is finally up. So go see that for your leisure. Other than that, we're still planning. Hopefully the weather will get nicer. I can go do some more Rhe60 stuff around Rhode Island. We're still, by we I mean me and some of my teammates, are still thinking about ways of doing some new stuff for Rhe60, whether it's music videos, just different kinds of content to keep things spicy. So we'll just go ahead and get into the news. I've got 4 things on my list. First, I want to talk about Samsung unveiling the S8 yesterday in New York. With this announcement, they announced the new Gear VR headset, a controller that comes with the Gear VR, and a new camera for their Gear VR product line. So let's go ahead and get started with the actual phone itself. For processing, they're using Qualcomm Snapdragon processor. I believe it's the 865, and it's going to be huge. That is the premium processor for mobile VR. Not even the Google Daydream has it, or whatever, the Google Pixel, that's the phone. They don't use that, and this is very top tier. There are AR manufacturers who plan to use Qualcomm Snapdragon processor for their hardware, and it should eliminate latency for some of this content, hopefully improving the quality. I'm sure it will. They're improving the resolution on the actual Gear VR headsets themselves, which will be exciting. And of course, the inclusion of the controller is just going to be huge for the type of experiences and content that will be released, and navigation through those experiences. And then finally, the camera was released, a new camera, which I think, I'm not gonna say it's a product cannibalization of their phone or their camera that was released last year, but it is. I don't know how I feel about this releasing a new camera every other year or every year, especially since they pushed really hard to make this a thing for them. But it's whatever. I think including live streaming, the ability to access the content with your iPhone is exciting. It's still lower quality. It's still 2K on each side, 2K resolution. So, it's not as good as my 4K Kodak. But I think for consumers that are looking into experimenting with the medium, it's a great purchase. But I think the big sell of it is the live stream. We'll see how that's utilized in various forms in the coming months. My next piece of news, a couple of weeks ago I talked about IMAX opening up a VR movie theater, and since that January opening, let's see, they've seen 15,000 admissions, which is huge. That's for a theater that wasn't associated with an actual movie theater. That's pretty big. They let's see what exactly. They're seeing about 1,400 people per week. I don't know how big it is, and I don't know what the capacity, how many spaces they have, but 1,400, that's a pretty good number. I don't feel like pulling a random number statistic of how many people visit a movie theater per week, but for being a niche technology and emerging technology, then I think it's those numbers are impressive. I mean, they must be if they're reporting on it, and they similar to the Snapchat spectacles. I think this was a test market, and I think it's a green light to go into another city. I'd like to see it go into New York potentially. I think there's a huge market in New York, which it's surprised me about market potential in different cities. But New York would be great. San Francisco would be great. Not so keen on Seattle. I guess since it rains a lot, people might need places to go. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, it should be. I'm interested to see where IMAX plans on going next with these theaters, and I'm also very curious to see what the costs are, just to see their profits on these, and if they're actually making money off of these theaters. Next piece of news is it's not really news, but I guess it's just Disney where they're shifting their focus to. They are considered pioneers of VR in their theme parks, but their shift is going more towards AR. I think no, I not think I did. I earlier today I posted a video that really got me inspired to shift my thoughts on AR compared to VR. Augmented reality being that layer of it's a layer of digitalized information over our own reality. And there was the gentleman from Meta was giving a TED talk just about how technology today, whether it's a phone, a laptop, we're all kind of hunched over. We're taken out of our own senses, but AR is really that push of not. It's just enhancing your senses rather than pushing you away from them. And I think that's very powerful of how AR is going to be marketed to the to mass adoption, and it's just we're just gonna see AR everywhere. I talk about all the time in Black Mirror about the contact lenses. That's a form of augmented reality, and that's the future we're heading towards. So I think if Disney is pushing for this movement, it's gonna be huge. I guess while I'm speaking about augmented reality, there have been recent rumors of what Apple's rendition of augmented reality will be. And I don't think it's going to be, I don't think, if the rumors are true, that's not the future that I want. The rumors being that, there's, I think I saw it on YouTube, but maybe TV. It was an Apple stickers commercial just about how you can place stickers in our world, and that's very gimmicky. If that's what the iPhone X is going to be all about, then I might have to switch to Samsung, because that is not the augmented reality that I want. That is not Meta's augmented reality. And I think that would be a very foolish mistake. So, yeah. And then going back to VR, who is it? Oh, Warner Brothers announced that Ready Player One, the book adaptation movie that is based off of the Ernest Cline book, is going to get content for HTC Vive, and this could be this. I don't know what exactly the content will be. Hopefully they'll utilize room scale and it'll be like a full out experience. I love the book. I haven't read it in a while. So I plan on reading it again before the movie comes out and before some of this content comes out. But I hope it's a full experience where you can just go explore the world that the main character is. And let me figure out who the main character is. Oh, I guess I don't know, but I hope he's gonna flesh out this world into a room scale application, and really show that how you can make a just a killer VR app that has a license behind it. Just because, I'm not gonna say they're bad experiences, but like the Suicide Squad, you're just exploring something. But I really want it to be both immersive and interactive, because we're still trying to figure out everything in VR is immersive, but you want to try to figure out how to make it interactive. And I hope the room scale of the HTC Vive really fleshes that out. So that's this week's VR report. I hope you like the new structure of it. I know that views have been going down, but for those who are still sticking strong with me, I love you. And yeah, if you have any suggestions for how I can improve the show, I'm very open to that. So yeah, have a good weekend.